Hi guys. One of my favorite quotes of all times is that the past is a place of reference. It is not a permanent residence. And this was a concept that Darren Hardy actually drove home for me in a story that he shared. Darren Hardy was the previous publisher, editor of Success Magazine, and he made his first million. I think it was something like by the time he was early 20s, if not late teens. I think it was early 20s in real estate. And he came from a household where his father was a gym teacher, and he literally told his son, if you don't have a bone sticking through your shirt, you are going to school, right? So he came from a really tough background, not exactly a coddling environment. His mother had taken off when he was very young, etc. So one of the stories that he referenced at some point early on was there was a gentleman, and he was an alcoholic. He had two children. One of his children grew up to be an alcoholic. The other one did not. And when they asked the child who had grown up to be an alcoholic, how could that have happened? Your dad was an alcoholic. You grew up in this environment. You saw what kind of destruction it could wreak on a family. How could you grow up to be an alcoholic? And his answer was, well, what else do you expect me to be? Right? Because in his mind's eye, that was his role model. That was the person he grew up with. That was the only point of reference that he had in his life. So what else was he supposed to be? How else was he supposed to turn out? His brother, on the other hand, when they asked him, it's amazing that you came out of this alive. It's amazing that you're not an alcoholic. Why do you think that is? And he said, well, what choice do I have? After having had a father like my dad, and after having been raised in that household, and after seeing what kind of damage that could wreak on a family, how else did you think I was going to turn out? So it's interesting to me, and it's just such a great illustration of how we are staying stuck in our stories. So Darren Hardy really helped me very early on when I was just starting to unpack my story and kind of how I got to the place that I am now. He kept me from getting stuck in my stories. That story that he shared with me kept me from using how I had been brought up as an excuse to stay stuck. And it's interesting because when you hear people, and I talk to clients all the time, that will tell me, this is the reason I'm here. This is the reason I'm stuck. Or they don't even know why they're stuck. They just know that they're stuck. And so I think it's a very interesting concept that you can use those stories as an excuse to stay stuck, or you can use them as a reason to move forward. So that was a great illustration very, very early on in my career to help me not get entrenched in those stories and stay stuck, and in turn, help clients see that they are stuck in their stories. They need to ditch their story. It's great to figure out why you are where you are right now, but then you have to drop that story and go on. Right? You get to write your future. You can't rewrite your past, but you are in charge of your future. And there's such huge power in that. There's also a lot of huge power in personal responsibility, which is what this forces you to do. Is some of the reason why people stay stuck in their stories is because it gives them an excuse not to have to do the work to move forward. I hope this has helped you in some way. I know it certainly helped me. So take care and we'll talk again. Bye.